Good morning, everyone. As y'all know, we are a busy church. It's a vibrant time. It's always a vibrant time here at First UU Church of Austin. So I'm going to tell you about some of the things that are coming up as we all get settled in for this wonderful service today. So on each Sunday, we light candles in the sanctuary along the windows over here or along these windows, and they're used to mark sacred times in our life. We encourage you to light those candles during the prelude, music for meditation, or the postlude. Chalice Camp is coming up, our UU summer camp for kids from Rising Kinder to 12th. It's set for June 1st through 5th, and you can talk to Soul, or you can see the sign up in the RE newsletter. Want to learn more about the inner workings of the church? Serve the First UU Board of Trustees is a great way to know the church and work closely with the ministers and other talented members. There are several board vacancies for the 2026-2027, and we're looking for any members dedicated to our mission. No experience necessary. And you get to hang out with some really cool people once a month. To learn more, contact the nominating committee. It's NOMCOM, NOMCOM, at austinuu.org, or talk to Nason Lawrence. So our spring auction is coming up soon, and it's a really important thing for us in our church, and we want you to show off your many skills and talents. Our annual auction is more than just a fundraiser. It's a way to share our gifts with one another. Whether you can host a dinner, offer a tarot reading, donate a piece of art, we want to hear from you. So please submit your donations into the office by April 12th. I think that's 2 weeks away. You got about 2 weeks, so mark your calendars for the live auction party, and that live auction party will be May 16th at 6 p.m. It's going to be a riot. Now, each Sunday, we have a caring companion who's designated to be available in the front of the sanctuary after the service to listen to any immediate needs and assist you with connecting to more pastoral care if you need it. Today's caring companion is Jennifer Lowen. Jennifer, will you please stand up and wave? Thank you so much. You can find her after the service. Now, let all that have gathered in beloved community, whether in virtual space or in person, join our spirits in a worship together. I almost forgot the chime. Good morning. Whether you are joining us online or you're here in the sanctuary, welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin. We're a spiritual community dedicated to a free and responsible search for truth and meaning and beauty. I'm Reverend Carrie Holly Hurt. I'm the assistant minister here. I'm a white woman in my late 40s with shoulder-length brown hair. I'm wearing a fabulous blue blazer, and I have a wonderful shirt that says Tigers for Trans Rights. I'm also wearing a wonderful stole that is white that has the colors of the pride flag made into leaves on a tree. It is really a joy to be with you all today, especially because today we are celebrating Trans Day of Visibility, and I can't think of a better time to celebrate than the time we're living in. Our preacher today is L.B. Lomeli. L.B. is a genderqueer Mexican human born to a family with a long heritage in farming in a small town in central Mexico, where the houses are still made of clay, though they have lived in Texas long enough for it to be part of their heart too. They consider themselves to be a lover of all life forms, even the less likable ones. After a long stint of recovering from Christianity, they were introduced to Unitarian Universalism by a friend and have been a member since. Welcome, LB. And welcome to you all. I especially want to welcome you if you are new to the church. If you're joining us remotely, and you can, please tell us where you're coming from. And if you're here in the sanctuary, please join us for some socialization and house and hall after the service. Either way, we invite you to fill out the online visitor form at austinuu.org. Simply click on worship and you'll see a link to the form. We would love to get to know you better. Because here, we welcome everybody. Every beginning and path, every beautiful expression of human flowering, all pronouns, all the ways and ones we love, all abilities and disabilities, each and every one of you. You belong here, and you're welcome here. Now, we come from a long tradition of seeing a divine spark that flows through every single one of us. And it's in that tradition, in this living tradition, that I invite you to welcome the holy among us, either in the comments or in the sanctuary. I might get power hungry with this chime. I never get to use it. Please join me in which we say the words in which we light our chalice. This is the flame we hold in our heart as we strive for justice for everyone. This is the light we shine on systems of oppression until they are no more. This is the warmth we share with one another as our struggle becomes our salvation. Our call to worship today comes from Reverend Jamie Yandel, the infinite divinity. The chalice is lit, and in the flames, the memory of our trans and non-binary ancestors do a dance of freedom and liberation, reminding us that we are whole, we are holy, we are loved beyond all measure, and our refusal to accept anything less May we know we are rooted in the infinite divinity, not relegated to the outskirts of the web of all existence, but enshrined at its very core, enfleshed with fairy dust and stardust, an intentional creation of space where our many gods live. And now please rise, either in body or spirit, for our first hymn. It's in your gray hymnal. It's 170, We Are a Gentle, Angry People. One of the things that binds this church together as a religious community is that this congregation has a common purpose. For First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin, that common purpose is our mission. The congregation wrote it together, and we put it in the wall in the sanctuary so that every Sunday participants could say it so that we could carry the message in our heart throughout the week. Let's say it together now. Together, we nourish souls, transform lives, and do justice to build the beloved community.
Floating between two ends that don't matter. So many questions get asked. So many times when I don't have the energy, I like to correct and react. What if I'm not a part of the CNB scene? Neither nor both and me, in between. If I'm fighting between a rock and why bother? You are floating between two ends that don't matter. What if I don't want something that applies to me? What if there's no better word than just not saying anything? We are fighting between a rock and why bother? You are floating between two ends that don't matter. So there's a word for one, there's a word for all. So there's a word for all. We got a word for one. So there's a word for all.
Hello, everybody. My name is Soul. I am a small white human with short blue hair. We have come to the Time for All Ages in our service today, and I have a book with some gorgeous illustrations. So if you would like a close look, come on up, join me on stage. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me on stage. Hello, everybody. It's good to see everyone. Hello, hello. Oh, okay. Our book today is called One Day in June. It is a story inspired by the life and activism of Marsha P. Johnson. It was written by Tourmaline, and illustrated by Charlotte Christensen. Look at us out here, happy as can be, endless joy as far as the eye can see. Marsha sure does love this scene. Do you know about Marsha? Close your eyes and picture her, my friend. Marsha P. Johnson, radiant, a whirlwind of love. She adored people in all their many shapes. You see the packages we come in, the way we are exactly ourselves, no more, no less. That's because of Marsha. Marsha was more than an activist. She was more than a performer or a disco dancer. She loved people just as they were, and she had a good time doing it. Marsha knew that's how we change the world. Back in Marsha's day, Times Square was a hustle-bustle place. Grit and grime, shimmer and shine. It could be a good time, but it wasn't always. Saint Marsha called Times Square her living room. She took care of her best friends. They found a way to be fabulous and to thrive together. They could laugh at just about anything. Sometimes you had to. Marsha knew a joke makes the hard times easier. What makes you laugh? Mom, can I get an ice cream sandwich? Marsha would give her last dollar to a friend for any reason at all. Oh, honey, I don't have enough money today. She knew the small joys in life are what really matter. Here, take my tips from last night. Go and get some ice cream. Marsha knew that to give is to receive. Her friends used to say, the more you share, the less you need. Marsha was a disco girl. She could sparkle with the best of them, and she had a gift for making friends. Like a honeybee dancing from flower to flower, Marcia glittered, spreading joy and happiness to the people around her. Her smile and her laugh were sweet as nectar. Marcia would go to Raoul's restaurant every day. Someone always made sure she had enough to eat. Then she would boogie on the tabletops. Marcia knew that happiness is like fuel. Did you get enough to eat? You're going to need your energy for the rally. When we can find our joy, we can show up for others. Where are we going again? It feels good to show up for people when they need us. The March for Black Trans Lives. Marcia knew that sometimes we need to take change into our own hands. In the flower district, Marcia would gather fallen blooms and weave them together. You never saw her without that flower crown. Sometimes she'd buy a $5 bouquet, tear it apart, and put the flowers in her hair. That was a lot of money for Marcia, but to her, it was worth it. In her crown, Marcia transformed from a plain old caterpillar into a dazzling butterfly. Some people didn't understand Marcia's beauty, but she paid them no mind. She loved the way she looked. Marcia knew that dressing how we please is a radical act. The world would just have to get used to it. Marcia was royalty, and all the village was her court. We used to call her the Queen of Christopher Street. People were always caught up in her glow, admiring her, snapping her picture. Like a blossom in the sun, Marcia basked in the attention. She knew that when you feel good, you can make others feel good too. To Marcia, all the world was a stage. Marcia's message has never been more alive in what we do. If you listen carefully, you can hear her in the flowers and the bees and the butterflies, in the voices of people showing up for each other, saying, I believe in Black trans women. Look at us out here, happy as can be, celebrating each other in all our many shapes. That was the best ice cream ever. People may not always understand our beauty. Wow, your hair looks amazing. But we keep showing up exactly as we are. I want to dance. We too know how to create endless joy as far as the eye can see. And that's because of Marcia. The end. Thank you so much for listening. Let's head on back.
This is the time in our service where we commit to the mission and ministries of this church by making an offering. We give of our own so together we might build a better world. Sometimes that looks like doing social justice or the deep spiritual work in small groups. And sometimes that looks like buying coffee or having an air conditioner that works. If you are new or visiting, please let the plate pass you by. You are our guest. You can give in many different ways by going to austinuu.org and clicking on the link on the top right side of the page. or by texting your contribution to 84321. I think a number will pop up. Or by placing an offering in the basket that the ushers will now pass around. All blessings on your gift and all blessings on you as givers. Our reading today comes from Miss Major. They have to see us. They have to know that we're not going anywhere, that we've been here ever since God made man and woman, and they have to get over it. I don't need their permission to exist. I exist in spite of them. I want you to train and teach and love on and create families within my community and gender nonconforming people so that we can understand that we have a culture, we have a history, we have a reason to be here, we have a purpose. We're entitled to be loved and seek happiness and share that with the people we care about. Now, with that powerful message, let's go into a time of meditation. Let's breathe together. This week I learned that the word conspire means to breathe together. As we conspire together for a better world, a more beautiful world. As we breathe together, unconsciously matching ourselves to our neighbor's breath. Breathing in love. As we breathe, we come to a deeper place of wisdom, to a place of greater love. A place where we feel that divine spark that is in each and every one of us. I invite you now to light a candle if you are so moved. Candles representing sorrow, joy, hope, remembrance, resilience, whatever it is in your heart. As we light our candles, let's keep those in our community in our heart that are struggling, that are having their own sorrows. And with those that are experiencing joy. As we enter into more of a meditative quiet, as our music plays, let us hold that meditative quiet even when the music comes to an end. And now we light one last candle for all of those who have no one to light a candle for them.
Good morning. I do have to turn my brain on into speaking mode, so bear with me. My name is LB Lomali. I prefer they, them pronouns. I am a being, a very small being of Mexican heritage with long braids today. I am wearing a Defend Trans Texas Loudly shirt and a What Would Dolly Do pin as well, because doesn't she know everything? Before I start, I want to take a quick moment to praise and bless Reverend Carey for creating space for people like me to feel welcome and empowered. You are a wonderful leader and a voice I am thankful to be a witness to. You make me feel inherently worthy. Now, I want to talk about the word real. Real. This word is an adjective, so it's used to describe something or someone. Some of the definitions I would like to highlight here. Actual, as in having a physical existence. Occurring or existing in actuality. Of or relating to everyday activities. I want to talk about what is real because for centuries now, much of the world has been trying to deny the reality of transgender individuals by using terms such as cross-dressers, suggesting that their existence is merely a disguise and not something that they really are. Or, in more recent news, by invalidating their quite literal driver's license identifications. Lately, I cannot help but resent that most of this invalidation has been in the name of a God we have yet to meet in actuality. Though I do honor the glory that can come with spirituality experienced through religion, I cannot find anything spiritual in the words of 1500s Englishman Thomas Harriot when he spoke of the Native American cultural practices, including that of the Two-Spirit people. Bear with the verbiage here as I quote, "Indian myths must fall beneath the weight of the Christian Bible." He said much more heinous things too, but the end of his statement was, and should the English need to act malevolently towards the Indians, well, the ensuing violence should likely reveal the spiritual superiority of the English. Well, Thomas, I see nothing sacred or spiritual in how y'all ripped us of our cultural practices and stole our lands, only to come fight more of your wars on them. And yes, I said y'all. It falls heavily on me how most trans existences are known and sometimes even expected to have a close relationship with suffering. As Zane Jukadar wrote in their essay, An Incomplete History of Trans Immortality. Most of us don't have the luxury of believing ourselves entitled to the future. Yet, here we are, trans folk of the future, experiencing the same fears as our trans ancestors. I've been told to watch my use of the word hate, but I do mean it when I say that I hate that we have to continue to exist in a world where trans women are labeled as real-life monsters. Yet historically, they have actually endured fetishization in similar ways we see towards womanhood. I hate how little we know about the so-called female soldiers, our ancestral trans masks who fought wars, many died, and most lived in fear of being outed. I say we know little from them because we actually have lots of records of these female husbands and female soldiers, but rarely do those accounts come from the person themselves. They are often seen in scandalous news reportings or law proceedings of their very public outings. Trans men, although not labeled as monstrous, do still experience invalidation from being accepted as real men. I also hate how fervently they have worked to burn our access to knowledge about the multitudes of gender nonconforming stories. These stories range from no gender to third gender to beyond, come from all over the world. From the Hijras of Hinduism, from the Katuis of Thailand, from the Babaylans of the Philippines, from the two-spirit people of this very land we stand on. Like the Muxas of Oaxaca, Mexico, Muxas are considered a third gender and are seen to honor the indigenous Zapotec culture. They believe that there is no one way to be a Muxe and are welcome to embody their gender identity with fluidity. I do want to take a moment to note that I follow the Aztec calendar system regularly, and today is the day sign of a death, which is a day of transformation to the Aztecs or the Mexica, which I think is beautifully fitting that I'm up here talking about transformation on the day of transformation. But ultimately, this resentment that I have been feeling has felt like it is boiling over inside of me lately, fueled by the weight of how long we have been suppressed, erased, denied, silenced, burned, censored, and most importantly, oppressed. Initially, this fury made me feel like I could go into this situation with their same guns blazing kind of energy because it feels like a hot blaze inside of me. In Gabrielle Below's essay, The Goddess in the Volcano, I read about how she related her identity to a volcano. And let me tell you, I relate to her so much right now. I have felt like I am on the verge of erupting. In more recent days, as I have processed this anger and this frustration and spent a lot of times reading very angry history books and then offsetting it with a palate cleanser of fiction stuff so I don't get too angry, I have learned to recognize that energy is just energy. I have had to surrender to the reality that I simply am not called to be the face that stands right up to the oppressors. Like I said, I'm a very, very small entity. But I still have this energy, and I'm here every day learning what to do with it so I don't implode. They say when we are angry, we see red. But did you know the hottest stars actually burn blue? A color us meager humans associate with calm. I hope that this can mean that my anger is able to manifest calmly. This can seem like a contradiction, but recently I learned the difference between anger and wrath. Anger is just a feeling. It's just inside of us. Wrath is the destruction that can come from that anger. Personally, I know I will not ever contribute to wrath, at least not intentional. But damn, is that angry feeling still in there? Through all this deep and guttural hurt and frustration, I know that we have to continue to fight and also change these systems, the systems that make me feel small, that make me feel hurt and hopeless and powerless and scared. I know, to me, it's not worth having a fight where things stay the same. In the book Reclaiming Two Spirits by Gregory Smithers, which you can actually purchase in our library, by the way, I read, "The idea of static gender or sexual categories makes little sense for people who strive to bring balance and harmony into their communities. Unlike Thomas Harriot, I don't feel the need to use the weight of my spirituality to channel the balance and harmony I long for into our reality. Because any dynamic that feels the need to break us down is not worth our grandiosity. So, what do I do? What do we do? Rather than breaking ourselves down, what do we do to get manifest, deal with, embody this big ball of energy? In one of our adult religious education classes recently, we were asked, what are we still seeking from our spirituality? One of our collective answers was daily practice. And so it got me thinking about what ways I can quantify distributing such a massive ball of energy into all of my days, and how can I also make that feasible? I'm really, really terrible at math, so big numbers give me a jump scare. How do I, on top of seeing the divine in everyone, conjure the divine within myself? How do I take my anger towards trans history and turn it into love for trans souls? I feel like this is an ever-unfolding question, a question I will most likely have to ask and answer to myself more than once. I've been learning to embrace things that are in constant flow. As lately I have been connecting with Mexica, or more commonly known Aztec traditions, I have learned that movement is a concept that is very holy to us. The earth and life itself is never still. So I started welcoming this concept into my life. For now, what I can think to do is honor and uplift trans existences with love. As the late Filipino-American genderqueer artist Mark Agujar wrote in their art piece, here on the screens for you to witness. Their art piece is called Not You, Power Circle. Who is worth my love, my strength, and my rage? To me, the ancestral trans souls are worth it. The trans community of now is worth it. I am worth it. I don't feel like spirituality is defined by what I am. I don't think I need to earn acceptance by looking or believing or thinking in one specific way. I feel like my spirituality is defined by what I do, what brings strength into my spirit. Even if all I have is a corporal body and sometimes a voice, that makes me enough. Enough to be loved by the universe and to spread that love through the universe. Even in my small human form, I can be a face that stands up for you to feel welcome, a face that sees you when you're not feeling seen. I can be one to pour myself and my heart out for your existence. And I hope I can help you feel like I stand here as a voice for you, a shoulder for you, maybe sometime even a guide for you should you ever need it. In the book, So Many Stars, An Oral History of Trans, Non-Binary, Genderqueer, and Two-Spirit People of Color, a compilation of interviewed stories, one of them being Bambi Saucedo, rejoices in saying, being loved equally is beautiful, and I can say I lived and experienced that. I ache at the thought that this experience of love with equality isn't universal for trans people. So here I am, building the blocks in my life to love inequality. For all the trans masks, yearning for boy love from someone who refuses to really see them as a boy, I am here for you. For all the trans femmes, feeling the daunting pressure of how to style new girly clothes, do your nails, or learn the very scary world of makeup, I am here for you. For all my fellow NB babies, non-binary if you're not in the know, questioning where you land and if you are even valid for how you feel on the inside, or maybe you're battling a constant push and pull between the two big or maybe more identities within you. I want you to know you are the realest to me. For anyone feeling afraid to accept their identity, what their identity is, afraid to water that secret sapling within you, I am here for you. Even, and maybe especially, for all the people who haven't quite yet figured out how to support your trans and gender nonconforming loved ones, I can offer you an ear, some ideas, maybe a book or two to help you gain the confidence to spread your universal love to them. This one was kind of hard for me at first when I was dealing with the anger, but ultimately, everyone needs that. And everyone needs that guidance, even if you don't know how to love your trans people yet. And anyone who wants to opt in for a little extra blessing and universal love, Reverend Carrie and myself will be doing a little glitter blessing and optional hugs in House and Hall after the service if you would like to participate. I may not feel certain that something godly is out there for our salvation, but humanity is in our hands always. And if something godly exists, I do believe that it is within us, and therefore it is within me. And anything that exists within me is not allowed to hate me. It can only love me, simply because I love me. The prefix trans, meaning beyond, feels powerful to me in the face of our reality. Our existence is beyond real. And we are here in actuality for you to behold. Thank you.
Now let's rise and body your spirit for our last hymn. It's 1051 in the teal hymnal, We Are.
For
join me in saying the words in which we extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again.
For our benediction, I have a poem from the Spanish trans poet Bruno Simiano Matilla. I'll read it in its native language first, then translate it to English. Presencio nuestra historia, tan colapsada, tan desprovista de memoria. El tejido social que podría sostener el desastre, desgarrándose en dinámicas mediocres. Ante el auge del fascismo, intento cuidar de mi entorno, arrimar el hombro, acudir a la espiritualidad y escribir algún verso. Cierro los ojos, me vuelco hacia adentro, llevo mi grito contra el acantilado. Nadie contesta, no importa, ya no importa, porque yo sé que todas las que yo fui también están ahí. En su espera, en su fuerza, en su lucha, en su soledad prematura, en su quietud infinita, pacientes, esperando. I witness our history, so collapsed, so stripped of memory, the social fabric that might sustain the disaster tearing apart amidst mediocre dynamics. In the face of rising fascism, I try to tend to my surroundings, to lend a hand, to turn to spirituality, to write a verse or two. I close my eyes, I turn inward. I hurl my cry against the cliff. No one answers. It doesn't matter. It no longer matters. For I know that all the selves I once was are there, in their waiting, in their strength, in their struggle, in their premature solitude, in their infinite stillness, patient, waiting. May the congregation say, "Blessed be." Go in peace.